Welcome, friends, to this session of the webinar, which is a very important webinar. And I, first of all, give you a very warm welcome on behalf of Transition and on my behalf. I think, friends, insolvency career is one of the things which most of the chartered accountants, company secretaries, cost accountants, advocates, bankers, and people with great experience have never explored it. In fact, this offers a lot of opportunities and a lot of career avenues are also there. Now, it is extremely important for us to know that how we should be able to enter the world of insolvency. Naturally, there are certain requirements, there are certain qualification requirements which are required. And then we need to also pass a limited insolvency exam, which is organized by Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India, which we very fondly call as IBBI. I think most of you might be aware about it. But the exam is also not easy. It has become tough over a period of time. So I think everyone needs proper guidance. So therefore, these kind of programs really help the aspirants to look into that particular area. So let me start with my presentation, friends. Let me introduce you to the word of insolvency. You might be aware of certain things, but at least, and you're free to ask questions, my dear friends, on the way. Let me complete the topics, and if you have any doubts, then you can naturally ask questions by putting it on the chat box, or maybe we'll give you an opportunity at the end to open your mics also and ask questions. So don't be shy or don't be afraid to ask questions, because if you don't ask questions, naturally you're not going to know about this profession. So welcome to the word of the stepping into the world of insolvency. I think this offers a great opportunity. And why I'm saying this, friends, I'm saying it from my experience. I'm also an IP, but I don't practice as an IP. So you might be questioning it, why I'm not practicing. That's a separate issue altogether. But the fact of the matter is that I was the standing counsel for the official liquidator in Delhi High Court for almost 6 years prior to IBC coming into being from 2011 to 2017. Well, friends, in that era also, Companies Act governed insolvency or winding up, as we call it, as for the companies, isn't it? So handling more than 300 cases at that particular, as my experience says, that it is a very interesting world. So therefore, friends, I think we need to look into this as as a career option. Now, what is the purpose of today's webinar? Well, naturally, one is to inform that, look, introducing the participants to the insolvency regime, right? So you must know what are the roles and what it takes to become an insolvency professional. And then also the qualifications and the skills which are required to become an insolvency professional. Friends, passing an exam is one part of it, but becoming the best IP is another part. So therefore, if your knowledge is grounded, even while you're attempting the exam, I think that will take you to places that will help you in your career as an insolvency professional. And then, of course, with my experience, I will be able to share my whatever expertise I have in this area, because I'm very fortunate to have mentored large number of insolvency professionals. Even once they become IPs, they remain in touch, and I've been holding a lot of webinars, seminars, master classes, and I speak at different forums. And then, of course, the big question which remains with most of the people is what it offers as a career opportunity. So in the end, my dear friends, I'll be talking about the career opportunities also. Now let us look at what we are going to do today. Number one, we are going to talk about eligibility. That means the entry requirement. Who can actually become insolvency professional? We are also going to look at what is meant by limited insolvency exam, what is its content, syllabus, and how we can actually pass that exam. Then, friends, Sure Shot IP program is a very comprehensive program which is offered by Transition. And let me tell you, it is completely spearheaded by me in the sense that all the modules are taken by me. So I will also introduce or share some information about that IP program, Sure Shot IP program. And then at the end, we are also going to talk about the career opportunities that I mentioned in the beginning. And lastly, if any questions are still remaining, we'll be happy to answer all those questions. Now, friends, what are the reasons? People do ask me, what are the reasons? Why should I enter the world of insolvency? Number one, friends, the insolvency profession requires a very deep understanding of the legal, financial, and business issues, and at many times under pressure. So very stressful situations can also come in. Like if you are a chartered accountant or a banker or any other professional, company secretary, cost accountant also, I think you are in a position to read the financial statements. You are able to understand the legal framework. You will be able to navigate the corporate restructuring. Now that makes this profession very intellectually demanding and as well as rewarding. And multidisciplinary skill action is definitely required. You require interpersonal skills to deal with the creditors, communicate with the stakeholders, and then, of course, to manage the distressed company. When you become a CEO of a distressed company, you will be handling most of the employees, you will be handling the business operations also. So it requires strategic thinking. Problem solving techniques are required. So these are the daily aspects of that job. So these are very intriguing, very critical to become, you see, to handle these kind of assignments and the impactful outcomes. Now, this is something you are actually contributing to the economy of the country, isn't it? Tell me, if you turn around a company which is into losses, it comes back to its, you see, legs. It starts functioning. The employment is restored. Well, I think that's the most happiest outcome which you can have, the most satisfying job which you can have, isn't it? And the knows one, I mean, every single day will bring you a lot of issues, a lot of problems. So it's like a dynamic work environment. So I can only say no 2 days are same in the field of insolvency. So you will never get bored also. So this is also very important that as professionals, we must adapt and we must respond to the rapidly changing situations which are happening. So it's extremely important, friends, that we must look into these aspects. Well, you have been, probably some of you might have been in employment. You might have been working with for someone. Don't you think that now it's a time after, say, 10 years, 15 years of your practice or working? I think it's an entrepreneurial spirit is very, very important. Now, this will naturally help you to think creatively and innovatively. So this is very important, friends, that we should be becoming entrepreneurs in our own right. And then, of course, career growth opportunities. Now, as supposing I'm a lawyer, now, I have been now interacting with a lot of professionals, chartered accountants, company secretaries, cost accountants, which probably I would not have done it. I would have been dealing with only my clients, isn't it? But today, as an insolvency professional, I deal with all these people. So similarly, when you become an IP, you might be dealing with a lot of, you see, legal firms. You might be dealing with other professionals. You might be dealing with business people. Now, naturally, if there is a networking, the career growth options are always there. So this is extremely important that this offers a very rewarding career growth, very satisfactory. The question, according to me, my dear friends, should not be that why should I become an IP? That should not be a question. The question should be who can become an IP and how should I become an IP? I think that should be the question which one should be asking. Okay, so let's answer who can become an IP. Now, friends, these qualifications are mentioned in IBBI rules and guidelines are there. A chartered accountant, a company secretary, cost accountant, or an advocate, if he's having a 10 years of experience, they're not writing the word managerial experience here. They are simply writing the word experience. That means even if you are in employment, well, you can also become an IP. Or if you are holding membership, you are into practice, then of course you don't require any certificate from anyone. So this is only a 10-year of experience. Now, some people do ask me a question. If I have not completed 10 years, can I do that? Well, friends, take my word. If you have completed 9 years, 9+ years, you are a fit person to take the insolvency exam. Because passing an exam, registering for an exam, I think it's going to take time. You are not going to become in a single day. It might take 2 months, 3 months, or 4 months, isn't it? You will have to prepare it. Then once you pass it, your you see the pass percentage or your mark sheet, whatever you do that is valid for a period of 1 year. You have to register within a period of 1 year. So by the time you complete 10 years, you are ready. So all I say is that if you have completed even 9+ years, you should start working on this particular thing so that by the time you complete 10 years, you are able to jump into that profession very quickly. And those people who have not been able to complete 10 years, my dear friends, even the option is also open for them, for young professionals. If you have not attained the age of 28 years, that is also important. Then there is a program which is called as GIP, Graduate Insolvency Program. This is only for youngsters. It is being conducted by Indian Institute of Corporate Affairs. So you can go there. It is a 2 years residential, 1 year residential, and 1 year, of course, another training program. So it takes about 2 years to become the insolvency professional. And at the end of that program, again, you have to pass a limited insolvency exam. But that's a very good program, and I'm also faculty at that program. So that program also gives a lot of insights to the young professionals. But if you are already 9+ years, my suggestion is go for it right now. And then, of course, graduates having 10 years of experience in the field of law. So what I'm saying is this is for the law graduates. So for other graduates, it is 15 years, like BCom or whatever. But for law graduates, LLB graduates, those who have not registered themselves as an advocate, but in case they have a 10-year experience in law, they can also sit for that limited insolvency exam. And here, my dear friends, another opportunity. People are not really aware about it. Even if you're not holding any professional degree, like a chartered accountancy, cost accountancy, company secretary, or an advocate, if you are holding any master's degree, you're holding postgraduate diploma in management, having 10 years of managerial experience. Here, the word is managerial. I mean, your experience as an executive will not count. It should be a managerial experience. And as far as the diploma is concerned, for postgraduate diploma, well, it should be from a university which is established or recognized by law, or an institute which is approved by the Indian Council of Technical Education. So that 2 years full time. Now, it can't be a part time. So this is important, my difference. But if you are, say, you have done, say, MCom, you can do that, provided you have 10 years of managerial experience. So here the word is managerial. So in a managerial capacity. So try to obtain your, you can say, credentials or certificates or letters of experience from your old companies. That will really, really help. And lastly, my dear friends, can you believe this? Even a graduate with 15 years of managerial experience, like even if you are only BSc, BCom, BA, you can still, my dear friends, can pass limited insolvency exam, but provided you have 15 years of managerial experience. The word is managerial out here. So these are the possibilities for these people. Now, what are the steps? Well, friends, the step for entering the insolvency field is you have to pass the limited insolvency exam. Unfortunately, if we do the acronym, it is known as LIE. Well, that is the truth. But the exam is named as like this, limited insolvency exam. So you, after passing that exam, of course, I will be telling you about that program also, that exam also. You have to enroll with one insolvency professional agencies. Friends, broadly, IBBI is a regulator on the top. Underneath, there are service providers. The first service provider is insolvency professional. The second service provider is insolvency professional agencies. So insolvency professional agency is also one of the regulator. And the third is service provider is information utility. So IBBI is on the top. It is actually regulating these three service providers. So, but as an IP, once I pass limited insolvency exam, I need to enroll myself with one of the IPAs. So three IPAs are there right now. One IPA has been incorporated, constituted by Institute of Chartered Accountant, another by Company Secretary Institute, and third is by the Cost Accountant Institute. So even if you are an advocate, you can join any one of them. If you are a chartered accountant, it is not necessary that you should join an IPA which has been constituted by ICI only. You can join anyone. So that option is still there. And then once you pass the exam, my dear friends, then you have to do a 50-hour training, which is known as pre-registration education course, PREC. It is mandatory. In fact, I am also one of the faculty in those programs. Day before yesterday, there was a batch of 25 people. I spoke to them for almost 6 hours on a particular subject. So that's a 50-hour course, which is mandatory. Once you complete that, then you will get your registration with IBBI. So you require two things. Enrollment with IPA, it's like a membership. and then registration with IBBI. So once you are registered, that means now you will be called as insolvency professional, and you will be able to write insolvency professional in your business card after this. And then, of course, another requirement is naturally, this is a very normal thing, fit and proper person, integrity, reputation, character, all those things are required in this, my dear friends. Absence of convictions, restraint orders, competence, including financial solvency and net worth. Well, there is no such requirement that this should be the minimum net worth, but typically they ask for your credit scores, which I believe for any professional would be proper. So there should not be any problem in sharing that with the this thing with the IBBI. Okay, so let us look at the next one. The doubt on, if you have any doubts on eligibility, my dear friends, I will not be able to help you. Transition will not be able to help you. Only IBBI can help you. This is an email where if you feel that whether your managerial experience counts as, I mean, your position counts as a managerial position or not, whether it will be added up or not, I think you need to write to an IBBI. This is an IBBI and they respond quickly also. So you can make a note of it, my dear friends. IP registration, which is REG only, at ibbi.gov.in. So send an email to them, show them that these are my qualifications. Will I be qualified or not? I think they will respond to that. But broadly speaking, if you are a chartered accountant with 10 years of membership, with 10 years of employment, 15 years graduate with managerial experience certificate, if you have got it, experience certificate, I think that's good enough. There should not be any doubt. But to be very sure, if there is any doubt, my dear friends, I think you need to really, go to that and tell them that, look, this is my qualifications. Please guide me. So I think they will be able to guide you on this. Now, friends, let's look at what is the limited insolvency exam. Now, this is important. Limited insolvency exam, my dear friends, if you want to download, I think you can go to the transition website, transition.com, and then just scroll it a bit. There on the right hand side, you will find a link, download syllabus. So will be able to download it. Now, what is that syllabus? This syllabus broadly, my dear friends, is divided into 8 parts. And this is all what we have studied. Maybe something we need to study. Part 1 deals with Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code, IBC, right? That is the main core and crux of this. Some weightage are there, some questions are there. We'll come to that weightage. But this is something which you need to read in detail. And secondly, of course, the rules and regulations which have been framed under the Insolvency Code. So this is something, if you have not read it, this is something new for you, for which Transition and I can help you in gaining extremely good knowledge about it. Then in part 3, my dear friends, we have some business laws like Companies Act, and not the entire Companies Act. You have to just read 10 chapters. Partnership Act, which is a very small act. I think most of us have read it in our BCom, isn't it? Indian Contract Act. Indian Contract Act, I think you must have touched it during your studies, or maybe if you are a banker, you might be dealing with that particular subject, isn't it? Sale of Goods Act. So all the LLP Act. So these are 5 acts, business laws, which has to be read, which are very simple laws. And then, of course, there are general laws, which has become actually, there are a lot of new laws which have also been introduced in the syllabus. Like now, IPs are supposed to know about Prevention of Money Laundering Act, isn't it? Prevention of Corruption Act is also part of it. MSME Act is also part of it. Real Estate Regulation and Development Act is also part of it. So there are 13 allied laws. I call them as allied laws. And then there are 4 SEBI regulations are there. So this actually needs some kind of a training, some kind of a knowledge to refresh yourself if you have not read about it. And part 5 talks about finance and management. So these are general routine questions are coming on the reading of the balance sheets, ratio analysis, and something like that. So finance and management, very small part is there. Then general awareness. They are talking about the some of the labor law requirements, some of the Constitution of India requirement, not the entire one, some of the requirements which are there. So these are known as general awareness. Now, my dear friends, after this comes the huge syllabus. Till now, of course, you look at the volume, but as far as the weightage is concerned, the weightage is little lower. But your weightage actually starts from part 7 and part 8. Part 7, my dear friends, is case laws. 60 case laws you have to study. Imagine 60 case laws include 31 of Supreme Court, 14 of NCLAT, 7 or 8 of NCLT, and 7 of High Court. So total are 60 cases, my dear friends. Now 60 cases, and every case, my dear friends, in insolvency of Supreme Court runs not less than, on an average, not less than 150 to 200 pages. So let us take a ballpark figure of 150 pages. 60 cases multiplied by 150, you'll have to read 9,000 pages. Does it become easier? It doesn't. But as a case law module transition for a 9-hour lecture, which I've already recorded for them, I think it is a cakewalk for you. I can guarantee you. We have given keywords, we have given you the facts, issues, and ratios. I think it will become much, much easier for you. Then, of course, comes, my dear friends, the last part, which is case studies. In fact, when this limited insolvency exam was introduced in the year 2018, the exam was very easy. It was purely theoretical. There were no case studies. But now, my dear friends, the weightage of case studies, you will see in the next slide, it is 70%. So if you do not have the detailed knowledge of IBC rules and regulations and case laws, nobody can attempt case studies. So case studies are 6 case studies do come. 35 questions are asked for from that. So what it is required is, let us look at this. I'll come to that parts weightage also. But the total, marks in an exam are 100. Pass marks are 60. And what actually makes it difficult and brings down people is the negative marking for the wrong answer. 25%, my dear friend, is a negative marking. So if it's a 2 number question, 2 marks question, half mark is deducted. So you don't get 2 if it is a wrong answer, but you are also deducted 0.5, half mark for every wrong question. If it's a 1 mark question, naturally it will be 0.25. I have seen people getting, my dear friends, 58.75, 59.75, 59.25. One of the friends who has attended one of our programs recently, he actually appeared 3 times without any training, and he was in the range of 56 to 59 every time. He got frustrated. He spoke to me. I brought him. I said, I guided him. I said, look, you have to do this. And now, after his attending the program, then there is one more good part. The transition has come out with practice exams now, which will give you a simulation of the real exam itself. He has taken five of those exams, and he's in touch with me. And then you are able to review your answer. And he has now graduated from 58 to 65%. And he's very much confident. He's taking the exam on 20th of May. So friends, this is something which really helps you. Now let us look at the number of questions. There are 65 questions in total which are asked. From part number 1 to part 7, 30 questions are asked, or their weightage is only 1 mark. So 30 marks go there. And then from case studies, my dear friends, 6 case studies, 35 questions of 2 marks each. That means 70% weightage is only for case studies. This is extremely crucial. So unless you have a proper understanding, the conceptual understanding, my dear friends, of IBC, I think it is very difficult to crack those case studies. So that becomes very important. So duration of the exam is 2 hours. Well, friends, that is not a criteria here, because that's not difficult. I've seen people completing the exam in 1 hour, 1 hour, 15 minutes. So time is not an issue out there, because the questions are all multiple choice questions. So the questions are not subjective or essay type questions. You have to go to physically at a center, my dear friends, at an exam center. Well, any working day, you can choose date and time, whatever works for you, whatever is available. So you can choose your time at the center which is near to you. They have got a lot of centers. And then the fees is 5,000 rupees plus GST, which comes to 5,000. For every attempt, you have to pay 6,000 rupees almost, right? And then look at this. Of course, no calculators, devices, or smartwatches, but the worst part is no study material is provided by IBBI. You don't know from where to study. So there comes, you see, the transition which can help you. And no review is possible. Supposing you take an exam, you unfortunately, assuming you're not able to pass, You don't know where you went wrong. You are not given the examination paper because the questions are confidential, because they have got a bank of 3,000, 4,000 questions. They will not share it with you. So therefore, it becomes very important that we should pass in first attempt. That is important. And one thing you must bear it in mind: the cutoff date for all the laws which you have to study is 31st March 2023. That means if you are studying, say, IBC, Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code, don't take the latest IBC. You will have to read only up to 31st March, which is updated, which is also very difficult to find. Here also transition can help you. I'll show you in a little while. Now, this is the total breakup, my dear friends, of the exam structure and pattern. These are the questions which are asked. So as I mentioned to you, look at the last one. 35 questions, 2 marks each. IBC, 4 marks, rules and regulations, 6 questions. So 10 questions are typically asked from IBC. Then case laws are also based on IBC only. They are not based on allied laws. So 15. And then if you look at case studies, which are also more or less on IBC, except for 1 or 2 case studies, which are from general laws and other business laws, but most of them are from IBC. So weightage of IBC rules and regulation is huge, my dear friends. But let me also give you a secret tip out there. Studying business laws, general laws is very easy. Questions are morely theoretical, and you are able to answer very quickly and get all full marks. So don't leave. People actually leave all these laws. They say, okay, I will only study IBC, rules, regulation, and case studies and case laws. No, my dear friends, do not make that mistake. So you will be able to score it easily, and naturally, we can help you in doing that. Well, is there any restriction in number of attempts? No, you can take it anytime. But now what they have done is they have done a cooling off period. You cannot take the exam. Supposing you are not able to pass it today. Can I take it next week? No. Now they say there must be a cooling off period of 2 months, which again, by the time 2 months come, probably you will forget about IBC, isn't it? So idea is to pass in first attempt, and that too with 70% marks. And I think we have got a lot of people who have done. So maximum kind of 6 attempts in a year you can give. Of course, there is no restriction, but 2 months is this gap is there. Now, before I take you to the career opportunities, let me tell you and share how transition can help you in these particular circumstances, right? And how the transition can take you to this thing. There is a program which is called as Sure Shot IP. This is specifically, my dear friends, created for aspiring insolvency professionals. It is divided into 4 modules. IBC module, which covers IBC rules and regulations. Allied laws, 23 allied laws are all covered here, business laws and allied laws. And then case law module, 60 case laws in a 9-hour training. And case study module, my dear friend, which is extremely important. I think we are also devoting 9 hours to this and 6 live case studies. And friends, IBC module and case study modules are live. Allied laws and case law module, they are recorded modules. Although if you want IBC module as a recorded, you can also get that. There's no problem in that. But I would still suggest that there's a program which is planned now, I think in the next week now. It is starting from the next week. So please join that. I think that will really help you. I will be there with you, and it is a 5-day program. So let me share with you the brief details about each. So this is the hybrid combo. Hybrid means you can take some of them as recorded, some of them as live, as per your convenience, right? Because everyone is a busy professional. But all modules combined, my dear friends, whether you take hybrid or some other things, 14 days, 3 hours per day, 42 hours intensive training is there. This is required. You will have to devote yourself, right? You will have to ask your spouse, wife or husband, कि भैया मुझे छोड़ दो, don't disturb me for some days, I want to study. So it's an intensive training. Focus is typically on conceptual clarity. And recordings will also be available. Like you have attended, say, live class, recordings will also be available for certain time. So this also helps, my dear friends. This is an IBC module. IBC module which covers code, rules, and regulations, my dear friends. Okay. This is 5-day program, 3 hours per day, 15 hours. We give you practice tests, total conceptual clarity from beginning to the end. Timings are pretty convenient. Typically, they are held from 5 to 8 p.m. So you are off your office time, and then while you are at home, so you can easily attend those classes. And naturally, recordings are available. If for any chance you are not able to attend, so naturally you can fall back on the recordings also. But my suggestion is, if you have registered for live class, please treat it as a live class. Hear me out. You will have an opportunity to ask a lot of questions, and I'll also be able to clarify a lot of doubts. So case law modules is also there. All 60 case laws are covered, my dear friends. And now supposing a question is asked, in which case this issue was decided? Now it's very difficult to memorize 60 cases. I will give you memorization tips also, that how you can remember that case. So again, this is a 3-day module, 3 hours per day, 9 hours, practice test, convenient timings. If in case it is recorded module, you can see at your own convenience. Otherwise, 5 to 8, and then understanding the case laws is extremely important. I'll tell you how to study those. Allied laws module, again, it is a very important this thing, because it will cover all 23 case laws. So 9 hours again. And again, how to read allied laws is very important. From where to read. So transition has also prepared, you see, the important sections which are to be studied in this particular case. And lastly, my dear friends, case studies module. 6 practice case studies, because people are not getting what kind of case studies are coming there. So this is very, very important. 6 live case studies are done, you see, with me. You will be doing it with me. So we'll be understanding the each and everything, that what is the correct answer and why it is the correct answer. So 3 days, 3 hours per day, 9 hours. And again, the recordings will definitely be available. So friends, IBC module, I'm repeating, IBC module and case study modules are going to be held live classes. Of course, there are recordings are also available, but you should opt for live. And the rest of them, we are offering only recorded modules like case study, case laws, and also allied laws. Now, this is something which is important, friends. As I told you, when I go to IBB, I take a limited insolvency exam. You don't know what went wrong. Nobody tells you. In a limited insolvency practice exam by transition, my dear friends, which is based on that 2023 syllabus, once it is typically as if you are taking a limited insolvency exam of IBBI, you will actually now, once you get your score, now you will be able to review each and every question. There is a facility that if you answered wrongly, what was the right answer? So now, my dear friends, if somebody tells you where you went wrong, will you go wrong again? Tell me. Supposing I tell you, no, A was not the answer, B was the answer. Tell me, will you be able to answer that wrongly again? No. This is actually a wonderful thing which has been created by transition, my dear friends, right? So, and then of course, these are the 2 compilations like Bare Acts. People tell me where to find from Bare Acts, which is amended up to 31st March 2023. You will not be able to find it. You take a book from a bookseller, you will get the latest one, isn't it? And then downloading from some other sources, you don't know whether that's the correct thing or not. So Bare Acts in 2 parts. One contains IBC rules and regulations. The second one contains all allied laws. This is a compilation which has been prepared by Transition. And secondly, my dear friends, 60 case laws. They just give you the names of the cases. They don't give you where to find it. So Transition, what they have done is they have also compiled the case law. So I think these are the 2 publications, and these are all PDF versions immediately downloadable. They are not the physical copies. So you just go there to get these copies. You'll be able to download it instantly, and they're all very properly bookmarked also. So I think these are the 2 documents which are also helping. Now, what can be my exam strategy, my dear friends? Well, if you have to pass an exam, you need to spend time, isn't it? So people do ask me, sir, how much time should I spend? My suggestion, my dear friends, is minimum 120 hours, 30 days, right? You'll have to tell your spouse or children, do not disturb me for 30 days, right? So I'm going to study. And you have to establish a study schedule, minimum 4 hours. So 42 hours training, and then of course 80 hours of your self-study also. So that is important, my dear friends. And what are the, expert tips which I can give you, that this exam is more of a strategy, because there is a negative marking. So you have to understand the weightage of each topic. You have to strategize accordingly. And that is where we also help you how to strategize. Understand the concepts. This is more important. If you are not able to understand the concept that why this section came, I don't think you'll be able to remember anything. So that is what we help you in telling you from the beginning to the end, that these are the conceptual understandings. And case studies, of course, are required, which are they would require, you see, absolutely thorough knowledge of your theoretical part and also the case laws. So case studies have to be attempted only at the end. That is why in our scheme of things also, case study module is always done at the end. So it is important that we should do that. So what you need to do, my dear friends, is you can join short IP combo program, hybrid or whatever. This is the website transition.com. You can call at this number also. They're very helpful. 8800161008. I think you will get or whatever information you want, you will get that. And they're quite helpful to do that, my dear friends. Okay. And my suggestion is keep it simple. Now, people do ask me, sir, I need any book for this. Can you suggest? No book is required, my dear friends. You just need Bare Act compilation. That's all. Study from the Bare Act because I have seen books. The books are not amended. They are outdated. Sometimes they are giving wrong questions, wrong concepts. Concepts are there. So I will not suggest any book you take. Don't spend money on that, my dear friends. Rather, just simply take bare acts. That's all. Study from bare acts. Prepare thoroughly. That is more important, my dear friends. And then, if you are willing, please join that combo module. It will really, really help you to pass in first attempt. Right? Nobody can guarantee. I cannot also guarantee you, but you can go by the track record. My track record is almost 99.9%. Only 0.1% people who have not attempted, probably they have not been able to pass it. And will you believe there have been many persons, one of the persons participant, he scored 88% in the exam. 88%. And can you also believe it? He got a call from IBBI. He said, या तो हमारे एग्जाम में कुछ गड़बड़ हो गई है. How can a person score 88%? So ultimately, he was also asked few questions over the you see phone, and he was able to answer because his concepts was clear. So ultimately, they asked him, "Is there have you done any training or coaching?" He said, "Yes, I've been trained by Mr. Ashish Makija." He said, "Then it is all right." So anyhow, I'm not saying that I'm the huge expert, but all I'm saying is that I help you in your journey to step into this. So these are the live you see classes which are going to happen. IBC module I am starting on 25th to 29th May, 5 day. And then case study module will be from 6 to 8 June. So you can take these two live modules and the other two modules, which are case law modules and allied laws module, well, you can take recorded ones and as per your convenience, you can see them anytime. So that is why you have written anytime. So you can see at your own convenience, right? But please do that. It is important. Now, friends, some questions are always asked about the career opportunities. What are the career avenues? Now, I will call them as high demand and job security. What is the reason I'm saying so? Do you think that the companies will start failing? Do you think that the cyclical that like a you see like a season, a cycle also comes when the business go down, isn't it? There are always downturns. There are always a technological advancement. Companies naturally face insolvency. It is not going to stop, my dear friends. It is you look at the history. The companies are not going to go into a downturn. So if that is the case, my dear friends, there is always going to be a demand for insolvency professionals. And please mark my words, many of the persons who have already become IPs, they always tell other people not to do IP because यहाँ पे कोई scope नहीं है. Don't go by their words because nobody wants competition. There is a huge scope, my dear friends, if you ask me. So, and if you are say like think about this thing. People of my age who have crossed say 50 plus or some who are 60 plus, tell me how long they can practice as an IP. Next 10 years, 15 years, 20 years maximum, not more than that. So supposing you are in the age of say bracket of say 30s, in the age bracket of 30s or 40s. you have got a fantastic career of around 25 to 30 years ahead of you. So get your, insolvency professional. You may not practice it tomorrow. You may think about practicing or joining this profession, say maybe 2 years later, 3 years later, 5 years later. But as if you delay, the examination is also becoming tougher, isn't it? So that is what it is important, my dear friends, that you should do that. So there is a high demand according to me, and the that will be there. So and it is naturally accompanied with the financial rewards because the stakes are very high. Do you think a person who has become an insolvency professional of SR Steel or Bhushan Steel or any other large company, can you imagine what kind of fees he would have been charging? The minimum fees, my dear friends, which has been now decided by the IBBI for each case is, supposing you become an IP of, say, one company, your fees should not be less than 2 lakh rupees per month. That is the schedule which has been decided by IBBI. So supposing you are handling, no, I'm not saying more, supposing you have handled, say, 6 cases in a year, not more than, say, 5 cases or 6 cases. 2 lakhs per case makes it what? 10 lakh rupees per month. Well, do you think it is not a good financial reward? It is. And over a period of time, my dear friends, when you are experienced, when you have done 30, 40, 50 cases, people will come to you for advisory. You can help a businessman. Supposing you have a good network with the business people, supposing they come into insolvency, they will take your guidance that, oh, I'm a personal guarantor, I've come into this thing. Tell me, how should I go about it? My company is also in the CIRP. What should I do? Help them make a resolution plan. And for sometimes preparing a resolution plan, people are charging not less than 10 lakhs to 20 lakh of rupees. So therefore, friends, advisory and consultancy, giving opinions, helping them, and then of course becoming as an resolution professional or a liquidator or a bankruptcy trustee. I think a lot of avenues are there to earn money also, and diverse revenue streams, because as I told you, financial advising, consulting, corporate turnaround, corporate restructuring plans are also done. So I think these are important aspects which you can go into it. And then, of course, my dear friends, a professional development is also there because high stake environments are there. So you are in touch with bankers, you are in touch with stakeholders, you are in touch with business people. You never know what can come next. They can approach you. Supposing they find your methodology, they find your attitude, a good attitude or a good knowledge, well, naturally they will hire you for other consultancy matters also. And then, of course, the professional standing. Writing yourself as an insolvency professional gives you credibility, my dear friends, in the market straight away because people know that you have done that. So they'll come you for that advice. So it is very important that a strong reputation, professional reputation is made, my dear friends. And friends, mark my words, the opportunities are going to come because this IBC is not going away. Rather, they are making it much stronger, making it more robust now. And the government is putting all its efforts to make it more robust. And then, of course, networking opportunities. You will meet with the lawyers, you will meet with the accountants, you will meet with the senior corporate executives, you will meet with the government officials, you will have interaction with PF, commissioner, you may have interaction with the income tax commissioner also if you are appointed. Don't you think this gives you a good network opportunities? People actually go and play golf to get a networking, isn't it? So here you become an IP and you get a fantastic network. So this is very important, my dear friends, that these are the career opportunities for you which are there. All right. So of course, before I end, you'll have to visit transition.com, go there, find out whatever batches are there, recorded modules, limited insolvency practice exams, BEAR Acts, compilation of case laws, and some new products are also coming in due time, right? Like analysis of cases will also come. Well, friends, it's time for questions now. So let me leave the uh, presentation here now. And if you have any questions, let me look at the chat box if there are any questions. Okay, let's go one by one. A lot of questions are there. I can see that. Let me see if I can say. Mr. Fahim Ahmed says 10 years for all CA, CS, CMA, and LLB. Yes, sir. It is 10 years for all these professionals. Then Mr. Murli Krishna says, can graduate without experience in the field of law and having experience in the finance field can take exam? Sir, as I mentioned, you must have seen that a graduate with 15 years of managerial experience. So that is very important. So a simple graduate with 15 years of managerial experience, I think you can always look into this. You can go into that. Okay, before I go further, I can see one of the hands being raised, Mr. Rajkumar Sutar. Yes, sir, you can unmute yourself, sir, if you want to ask a question.
Yes.
Please go ahead, sir.
Sir, good evening. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Good evening. Yeah.
Sir, my name is Rajkumar Suthar, advocate.
Yes, sir.
I have attempted 4 times.
Okay. So you have already attempted 4 times. Okay. Okay.
But unfortunately, I could not get selected.
So what went wrong? I mean, are you aware what went wrong? Because IBBI doesn't tell you.
I am not. I am science. I am generally science background
Sir,
and not
let me
commercial
just
background.
let me share with you, sir. Whether you are from a science background or a commerce background, it does not matter. In fact, will you believe an architect and also a civil engineer, they joined the transition program. They were trained by me, and can you believe they passed with 72% marks and they became IPS. So it is not important of your background, what your background is. The question is you have to approach it in a very systematic manner. So what I can suggest, Mr. Rajkumar, is maybe offline we can discuss. If you are joining short IP, very good. If you are not, even then I can help you. Just talk to me, and I'll be able to tell you that what exactly needs to be done. But I will still recommend that if you can join a short IP program, you will be able to pass in first attempt. That I cannot guarantee, but I can assure you that we will do our best to do that. Okay. So thank you, sir. Thank
My
you.
question, sir.
Yeah.
My query is, sir, related. I
Hmm.
like to know contents of case studies are based from case laws or imaginary. It is imaginary.
Typically speaking, see, let me share with you. IBBI was not getting the case studies. What they did, they hired actually professors from law schools. So most of the case studies have been prepared by them, not from a practical aspect. Most of them are in theoretical manner. Now they are also putting you in a virtual. Assume you are an IP, then what will you do under these circumstances? So those are kind of the case studies. So we prepare you to deal with those such kind of situations. So they are simply not from exactly from IBC or from case laws. It is a mix of both the things. So sometimes they put you in virtual. So out of four, two may be right answers. Now, what is the best answer? You will have to check that, and that comes on based on your experience, based on your conceptual understanding. So conceptual understanding, Mr. Rajkumar, is very important. I'm sure, my dear friend, you will be able to pass. You can talk to me, you can join this program if you wish to. I think we'll help you in navigating this. Okay.
And sir, I like to know, sir, about your books on case studies. It is not available on market
No, case
at
study.
present.
Yeah, case study book is not there. I had written a book on case laws earlier, my dear friends, right? Case law book was there, but that is up to only fifth edition. Sixth edition has not come. Uh, if you are able to get hold of my book on case laws, analysis of case laws for limited insolvency exam, I can show you on the screen. It is lying on my table. This is the book which I wrote. This is the fifth edition, right? But this was as per 2021 syllabus. Well, how it can still help you, because almost out of 60 cases, 30 are still continuing. So you will find at least 30 cases in this book. But unfortunately, this book may not be available on Amazon or Flipkart. If you are able to get it, I mean, you will be lucky to get that. But case studies का कोई book नहीं है, sir. Case studies का what I suggest is you join that program. I will train you in 6 live case studies, and then you take practice exams. You will get, supposing you take 5 practice exams from transition, so you'll get trained in 30 case studies. तो अगर आपने 30 वो कर लिया, 6 मेरे साथ कर लिया, 36 केस स्टडीज आर गुड इनफ, सर. इससे ज्यादा करने का जरूरत नहीं है. That is what I can suggest you. Okay, so wishing you good luck,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you.
Yeah, wishing you
Thank you,
good
sir.
luck. Any more questions? Yes, Mr. Anil Bhandari, go ahead, sir.
सर वन थिंग कि आपका ये जो ट्रांजिशन कोड है व्हेन इट विल बी स्टार्ट?
Yes, sir. IBC module is starting, sir, next week on a Saturday, which is from 25th से 25 से start हो रहा है, and it is for 5 days, right? So continuous 5 days are there, 3 hours. So you will be with me for 15 hours, sir. And I will take you from the basic to an expert knowledge. And it is my guarantee कि उस 5 दिन के बाद, if somebody asks you a question on IBC, you will be able to answer it upfront. I can assure you that. So जैसे बोलते
Sir,
हैं ना सर, जैसे जैसे बोलते हैं ना सर, zero to hero. That is my attempt. Yes, sir. Any other question, sir? Any other follow-up question, sir?
Sir, in the IBC exams, is
Right.
the name of the case is also coming or only the facts are coming?
नहीं, नेम्स भी कभी कभी पूछ लेते हैं सर, इन विच केस दिस रेशियो वाज डिसाइडेड। अब जैसे कोई लैंडमार्क जजमेंट होता है सर, like
Uh,
innovative industries versus ICICI Bank, right?
yes.
Where a particular issue was decided. Or similarly, there is another judgment, Mobilox versus Kirusa Software, which is a second judgment by the Honorable Supreme Court, where it says that dispute का क्या meaning है. So landmark judgment है, तो वो थोड़ा mind में रखना पड़ता है. So we will tell you how to do that also. Keywords and other things, you will be able to remember that, sir. सर केस लॉज को पढ़ने के लिए आई कैन ओनली सजेस्ट यू वन थिंग विच आई डू इन आवर यू सी मॉड्यूल्स। रिमेंबर अ केस लॉ एज अ स्टोरी। अगर आप स्टोरी की तरह याद करेंगे ना सर, सब कुछ याद हो जाएगा, फिर कुछ कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, कोई कहीं से क्वेश्चन पूछ ले।
Sir, नेम में प्रॉब्लम आती है मेनली।
सर वो भी
फैक्ट्स
नहीं
तो
आएगी ना, मैं वही बता रहा हूँ, जैसे मैंने आपको मोबिलॉक्स वर्सेस किरूसा बताया, मैं क्या कीवर्ड्स
बिल्कुल।
बताता हूँ, आई टेल यू। आई टेल द पीपल कीवर्ड्स एज स्टार टीवी, नच बलिए। अब आप
बिल्कुल।
कहेंगे सर इनसे क्या रिलेशन है, क्योंकि वो फैक्ट्स में लिखा हुआ है।
एनडीए वाला ना।
करेक्ट। मैं आपको 5 कीवर्ड्स बताऊंगा, उस कीवर्ड्स को आपको सिर्फ जैसे ही कोई वो कीवर्ड आएगा आपके माइंड में मोबिलॉक्स आ जाएगा, ये मेरी गारंटी है सर। इसको मेमोनिक्स बोलते हैं, थोड़ा सा एक अपने आप को ट्रेन करना पड़ता है, विच इज नॉट डिफिकल्ट, विच इज नॉट डिफिकल्ट। ऑलराइट, सो आई वुड लुक फॉरवर्ड टू सीइंग यू सर, एंड आई
अच्छा
थिंक
सर, जैसे अभी आपने बताया कि आपकी शायद दो मॉड्यूल हैं,
राइट।
एक में तो अलाइड लाज एंड केस लाज, एक टोटल।
नहीं सर, मैं आपको दोबारा रिपीट करता हूँ, देर आर 4 मॉड्यूल्स विच कवर द एंटायर सिलेबस। फर्स्ट
हम्म।
मॉड्यूल इज आईबीसी मॉड्यूल विच इज फॉर 5 days, विच इज अ लाइव मॉड्यूल जो 25 से स्टार्ट हो रहा है। आफ्टर दैट देर आर 2 मॉड्यूल्स विच आर रिकॉर्डेड मॉड्यूल्स, विच इज एलाइड लॉस विच कवर्स द एंटायर 23 केसेस, एंड देन सेकेंड इज केस लॉ मॉड्यूल जिसमें 60 केस लॉस कवर होते हैं, दे आर रिकॉर्डेड वंस। एंड द लास्ट मॉड्यूल इज केस स्टडी। केस स्टडी का वेटेज चूंकि 70% है, सो वी वांट इट टू हैव लाइव। वो लाइव प्रोग्राम हमारा अभी स्टार्ट होगा जून के फर्स्ट वीक में। सो आप ये पूरा मॉड्यूल हाइब्रिड मॉड्यूल ले लीजिए, in which you will get 2 live modules and 2 recorded modules. Total 14 days, 42 hours. 14 multiplied by 3 hours each. Rather 42
तो
से
सर,
भी ज्यादा ही है सर, कभी कभी सेशन 4 घंटे का भी हो जाता है। अब टॉपिक खत्म करना है तो 45 आवर्स की है एक्चुअली रिकॉर्डिंग्स एक्चुअली। ओके
तो सर इट इज एक्सपेक्टेड टू बी कंप्लीटेड बाय अराउंड 10th जून।
सर देखिए, हाँ, 6 जून तक तो
कंप्लीट।
आपका वो खत्म हो जाएगा, उसके बाद 2 आपके रिकॉर्डिंग्स है, जैसे जैसे आप रिकॉर्डिंग साथ साथ देख लेंगे तो 10 या 11 जून तक सब कुछ खत्म हो जाएगा। और उसके बाद अपने आप को 20 दिन दीजिए। जून का लास्ट वीक में यू टेक एनी डेट, जून का लास्ट वीक और जुलाई का फर्स्ट वीक, उससे पहले मत लेना। टेक अ डेट, इन द मीन टाइम स्टडी, सेल्फ स्टडी, एंड take practice exams from transition. I think you are fit to go, my dear friends. I can assure you, you will pass in first attempt and not less than 70%. Right? All right. I think now we can go to Mr. Fahim Ahmed. He's been waiting very patiently. Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Good evening, sir.
Good
Sir,
evening.
I'm a retired person. I am cost management accountant, retired from a PSU as general manager finance. If
Very
I
good.
join this course, whether it will be helpful to me, sir?
Absolutely,
Just now,
sir.
I
Absolutely,
have
sir.
touched 61, sir. Last year I retired from my service.
No
Now I'm
problem, sir.
61, sir.
No, sir, 61 is no age, right? I feel you are still young. And IBBI says you can practice, you can take assignments up to 70 years of age. So you have at least 9 more years to practice. I mean, to take assignment. Of course, if you want to continue as consultancy after 70 years, IBBI is not prohibiting you. They say live cases nahi lena aapne. So 9 years you have
Okay.
got, sir. And you are the fit person, my dear friends. Why? A, you are a cost accountant. B, you have a corporate world experience. अब आप बताइए सर, आपको कंपनी मैनेज करनी है और आपको तो इन्स एंड आउट्स मालूम है ना फाइनेंस के। So
Exactly. Yeah.
if the
Yes, sir.
company comes, so you are the best person, my dear friend.
Sir, I was working as CFO
Yes.
and I was the general manager finance of one Maharatna PSU.
Very good, sir. I think you are the fit person to take this, to pass this. Do it, friends. I think we need good people like you. This profession needs.
Only worry is, sir, I'm out of touch from my studies, whether I'll be able to.
Sir, I'm
Okay.
there now. I'm sir, join this course. I will make sure that you pass this exam.
So I'll be within that 99.9%, no, sir?
100% सर 99 भी छोड़िए मैं 100% आपको आपको बोल सकता हूँ सर देखिए आप मेरे अगर स्टाइल से चलेंगे मेरी स्ट्रेटेजी से चलेंगे आई कैन अश्योर यू यू विल पास इन फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट सर
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Sir, thank you for joining. Yes, Mr. Karthik, I think you have also been waiting very patiently. Yes, Mr. Karthik, and then I'll come to Pooja ji and Mr. Jyotendra. Yes, please go ahead, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, good evening.
Sir, I'm right now in the employment. I'm a company secretary and cost accountant by profession.
Right, sir.
So, if I complete this exam, will there be any job opportunities per se, or I should practice only on my own? Will there be any recruitment?
No, sir. I think it is not only that you need to practice, there will be lot of openings for even for IPs because today what is happening? Like, let us take a case of a big four. Today, a big four is also handling a very large case of, say, SR Steel or Bhushan Steel or whatever. Now, do they not need people to work as a team? Because a company cannot be managed just like that. So they also need people who are actually having a good knowledge of IBC, insolvency. And there are a lot of IPEs also working, insolvency professional entities. I think a lot of employment opportunities, sir. Even bankers are preferring nowadays people with IBC background. So, sir, whether you are in employment, whether you are in practice, and supposing tomorrow, after say 5 years or more working as an employment, assuming you want to jump into practice, you have already a career in hand. You don't have to pass that exam at that time क्योंकि जितना लेट होता है थोड़ा सा like one of our friends Mr. Fahim said मैं 61 का हो गया हूँ सर बड़े टाइम से आउटडेटेड हूँ पास कर पाऊँ एक डाउट आ जाता ना माइंड में so but you if you are young today so therefore you will be able to pass that exam very quickly. Okay.
So you mean to say I can take this exam and then I can register whenever I want? I was told that it is valid only for 3 years, the pass exam.
No.
So within
No, sir. You can register and you can still suspend because only thing is if you are in employment, you will not be able to take any assignment, which is known as suspension of your this thing. You can keep it in abeyance. So pass it today, register it, keep it in abeyance. Right?
Okay.
That is also
Okay.
possible. Okay. Yes.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah, Pooja ji is also there. She has been waiting patiently. Yes, Pooja ji, do you have a question?
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Yeah,
I am
good.
a chartered accountant by profession.
Great.
So I have been appearing from 3 to 4 times, I guess. And
Okay.
my highest score was a 58.75, as you already said.
Very unfortunate.
So I don't think so that I am missing something. But
Okay.
while appearing in exam and attempting the exam, there is some problem. That's why I am not getting through. So
Pooja ji,
will this program or module will help me in this so
100%.
that I want to appear by the end of June?
100%. 100. June तो अभी बहुत टाइम है 1.5 महीना है 1.5 months is there. Please join this program as soon as possible. We will make sure that you pass this exam. Don't
Because
worry.
there are certain issues which I can myself understand.
I know that's all.
These are the issues.
Pooja ji, let me tell you one thing. Those people who join the program, and when on the first day I tell them, unlearn whatever you have learned and relearn with me. अगर आप बैगेज के साथ आएंगे तो मेरे कॉन्सेप्ट्स को नहीं समझ पाएंगे तो मैं चाहता हूं अपनी क्लीन स्लेट पे आप आइए and you will really understand. I know you must have read it. Obviously, you have attempted 3-4 times, so naturally you know many things about it. But study it according to my way. You will find it absolutely a different approach. So don't worry, we'll make you pass that. So please come with that for this course. I think you will find it absolutely helpful. That is what I can assure you. Okay. So wishing you best of luck. Okay. And then Mr. Jyotendra Parida. Yes, sir. Please unmute yourself, sir.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
I actually am a chartered accountant with also holding forensic accounting and fraud detection certification.
Very good,
so
sir.
that I cleared just a couple of years back.
Correct.
So basically, I met you in one of your lecture in the CA that IVC course was conducted recently. So I got to know and I liked your lectures so much.
Right.
So basically, I had joined that course conducted by ICI. Just I thought after completing that, after getting qualified with that certification, I will get to have some hands-on on some assignments with the current IPs.
Right.
So my question is here, how to start with, because see, passing an examination, that definitely that needs some deliberation, and we have to devote ourselves, right? So what about the putting our hands on the assignment and how to start getting assignment in terms of experience?
Okay. See, sir, the point what I'm trying to say is that if you pass this limited insolvency exam, it does not involve too much of this thing. It requires a dedication of maximum of 1.5 to 2 months. Not big deal. 3 hours per day, 4 hours per day is not very difficult. Naturally, once you pass that exam, your score goes up, your reputation goes up. That is one part. Having said that, even if you have done some say certificate course from ICI for basic knowledge and other things, what I suggest is if you are in employment, look for an employment with some IPE, right? Or maybe in a big four, where you can tell them that you have done this, you have some basic knowledge on this. So get involved in some of the assignments, or if you know some of your friends who are handling assignments, maybe you can get in touch with them. So do that. I think that will really enhance your practical knowledge also, and which will also help you in passing the exam. But my suggestion is, my dear friends, pass this exam and your value will become much higher if you do that. Okay. Yes, Mr. Karthik, is there any other question?
Sir, one small doubt. The thing is that is there any portal per se for this job opportunities? Because I am not able to find anything.
Unfortunately not, sir. Unfortunately, there is nothing. You will have to still look at from other traditional or conventional methods. Okay. Now let us take a few questions which are there. Archana Shinde madam says, my husband, he is a super class 1 officer in the government. His qualification is LLB, and some government cases he has handled the position of bank liquidator. Yes, Archana ji, I think if your husband has done these things, uh, if he's an LLB with 10 years of experience, I believe he has, because being a senior officer, I think you can already do that. Okay. So I think he's a fit person to do so. Mr. Bhandari says, what is the fees for attending and timing? I think, sir, what I suggest is we can write down in the chat box the phone number. Please contact at the phone number or visit the website. I think all those things will definitely be there. And then let us look at, okay, I think most of the questions I think we have. Archana ma'am says, recording mil sakta hai, for someone it is important. Okay. Yeah, if you want to have a recording only, you can, I mean, you need not attend the live classes, Archana ma'am. You can always take it recorded classes also, which are all modules are available in a recorded format. But what I still suggest is if you can still attend IBC module and case study module, where you are interacting with me in an open forum, you can ask questions, clarify your doubts, that really helps. But otherwise also recorded modules are also there, and you will have a feeling as if you are sitting in a live class only. So recorded modules have been also made like that. All right, I think friends, we can now wind up because there are no more questions and we have also exceeded our time. So thank you so much. Now, yeah, you can see in the chat box, my dear friends, there is a phone number which has been put in. So you can get in touch with that phone number. And while closing it, I must thank Transition for inviting me and organizing such a wonderful program. And I must thank all the participants for being there, taking a very time out of their busy schedule to attend this program. And I wish you all the best to all of you. Thank you so much, friends. Thank you.